All right, guys. So, I wanted to continue to talk here about narcissism, narcissistic actions, dismantling narcissism. And so, the previous video here, I was talking about narcissistic entitlement, false entitlement, a false sense of security that um, gives people a false sense of superiority, that they act like they're better than you because they were born with something. They were born into with a last name. They were born with a certain skin color. They were born a certain culture. They were born with an inheritance that they didn't earn. Okay, so the false sense of superiority is that they actually were falsifying like they were better than you, or they actually earned that position and they didn't earn it. They didn't put in the hard work. They didn't deserve it. They don't deserve to stay there. Okay, and that'll come out. That'll come out through their actions. It'll come out through the things that they say, the things that they do. You're going to look around there, and everybody's going to be going, "Man, what's this moron doing in this position?" Question authority, question their actions. They're going to have to be held accountable for the mistakes that they're going to admit. They're going to have to be held accountable, okay, for the things that they do, and the weaknesses are going to be exposed, and that everybody's going to WTF, how the heck did this guy get in this position? Well, they're self-entitled. They were given it by their daddy's last name, and they're trying to ride on that. All right. And so what this does is that it's a chain. It's a little generational cult, that has been going on. Okay, it's the occult. Okay, it's generational occult. Okay, and have the occult, and the overwhelming group is the Freemasons. Okay, and Freemasons and their the generational self-entitlement that they've just been using just because they were Freemasons, and showing a false sense, and a false a fake, a fraud. They're phony in so many different ways, but yet they're given a title over other people. They're given a title, yet they're supposed to be in charge of judging other young men. They're supposed to be, they're given these a false sense of superiority, that they think that that's okay to abuse other people. Okay, so that's what they're all about, is abusing other people, using other people. Yet they don't have to be talented themselves. They don't have to put in the hard work. Everybody else has to work hard, but yet they're getting out of it. Okay, so this is the megalomaniacs are they're created. Okay, and so once somebody gets involved in the Freemasons, you'll see their ego go from like being maybe normal. It could be small, or to normal standards, into out of control egos. Their crap don't stink. Their stuff don't stink. They're so much better than anybody else. This and that, and they're talking noise. They're gonna do this and that. They're gonna call other people out. They could beat anybody else. This and that. The egos actually get out of control. They'll kill anybody that they want to. They kill anybody that it's okay for them to kill anybody. Everybody else is subservient to them. They're below them. That think that puts them above them in some type of totem pole. So the Freemasons tell them that they're above other people on the totem pole of life. Okay, that tell them that they're above other people. They're better than somebody because they sold their soul. But they weren't actually talented. They sold their soul but their daddy sold their soul. So that makes them superior to you. Okay, that gives them the right to abuse you because they're Freemasons. That gives them the right to use other people because they're Freemasons. That gives them the right to abuse, use, and ultimately kill other people because they're in a cult called the Freemasons. They're in a little gang called the Freemasons. Okay, their daddies were in gangs in it called the Freemasons. And and now they're not held to any laws. Okay, they're above any laws. They can commit any laws. They can commit fraud. They are fraud. They don't deserve to be there. They don't deserve to stay there. They don't, and they didn't earn the position to stay there. Okay, they were in the Freemasons, and their daddies were in the Freemasons, and so this false sense of superiority is created. Megalomaniacs that are completely narcissistic, that completely gets out of control, and going through the steps in in narcissism, they go ahead and they jump all the way to 10. So 10, they think that they actually have the right to kill you. So they have the right to abuse you. They have the right to kill you. Okay, that's like Freemason philosophy. Okay, that they'll preach. Okay, and the egos get completely out of control. They're going to think that they have the right to abuse you and kill you. But that's when it gets to like DEFCON 1. Okay, so DEFCON 1 is like the Freemason narcissism. Okay, Freemason narcissism, where it gets to where they don't have any laws. They think it's okay to abuse hundreds and thousands of people, and ultimately millions and millions and millions of people are going to be subservient. Okay, they're going to be subs. They're going to be subservient to their group. Okay, so a group of a death cult of self-entitled brats that worship the devil, worship Lucifer. They worship anything, any and all God, any other deity, except for Jesus. They don't worship Jesus. They hate Jesus. They hate Jehovah. They hate God. This is the name God. But any other entity, any other demonic entity, it's okay. But a bunch of self-entitled little bullies. Okay, a bunch of self-entitled little brats that didn't earn the position, and they're suffering. and eventually it'll come out. You know what I'm saying? Eventually their own talents, their own lacks, their own weaknesses will be exposed, because in a real talking world, you actually have to earn things like this. You can't say you're a Freemason. You can't do your Freemason handshake. You can't do a Freemason password. And when it comes to real talking and stuff like this, but that's why they have to be it has to be rigged. Okay, it has to be rigged for them. Okay, but yet, it creates ultimately narcissistic megalomaniacs where they actually think that they have the right to abuse you and then kill you. And this level of megalomaniacs is going to have to stop. Okay, the system that we're on with the Freemasons controlling any and all things, that they're basically have abused society. Okay, they're abusing society as a whole and pulling a fraud on society, when they don't deserve to. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve the fact to actually be there, because they're not. They're a bunch of fakes, frauds. And once you see that it's rigged like that that would be the first step, is admitting that is rigged, and then start to question everything. Okay, so you have to question them, question their authority, realize that they sold their soul to a cult. Okay, all they did was sell their soul, and their daddies sold their soul to be in that position. So you have to question how somebody got in that position in the first place, and do they deserve to stay there? And then once you realize that they don't deserve that because they don't have the brain power, they don't have the commute, their brain power doesn't commute, they're not going to be able to register. They're not going to be able to answer the tough questions. Okay, when real talk, they have to put up. They're not going to be able to do it. They're going to be excuses, the narcissism come out, but then ultimately they're going to be rely on how they got there in the first place, and it was through Freemasonry. Okay, they sold their soul and got put in that position, and it was generational. Their daddy sold their soul. This is that, to be in a position of authority, to abuse other people. They think that they can abuse you. They think they can kill you just because just because they're in the cult. Okay, and so it's been going on a long time, but that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it even. That doesn't make it fair. It only makes it more and more closer to the day that these people are going to be called out. And once you start to realize that people are going to be coming to an awakening, and you're going to have to keep questioning authority and how these people got in this position in the first place. They didn't earn it. They didn't apply for it. They didn't interview. Okay? All they did was say a Freemason password, kill a bunch of people. Once you start to question that, and once people start to question that, and keep asking tough questions, they're not going to be answered for. They're not going to be held accountable. They're not going to be able to do that. But it's going to start that narcissistic chain of, once again, the snake chasing its tail, and it started that narcissistic and in this case megalomaniac chain of events. Okay, where they start to think it's okay to want to kill people because they're in the Freemasons. They think it's okay to want to abuse people because they're in the Freemasons. They think that they're superior over people because they're in the Freemasons. They think that they're elite because they're in the Freemasons. They think that they're better than other people because they're in the Freemasons. They think that they have the right to abuse you and society just because they're in the Freemasons. Okay, and so that's how that's the megalomania. That, they don't think that the rules and the laws don't apply to them, and they actually had to admit it and actually had to do the hard work. Okay, they wouldn't be there in the first place. Somebody else would have got that job. Somebody else would have been in that position. And that's eventually going to come out. Eventually, it's going to be, or realize, through the generational wokeness that's happening. You know what I'm saying? And this has been prophesied by long ago. Okay, the age of Aquarius, mankind actually seeing that this place is just one big rigged. It's rigged. All right, everything in this whole life is just rigged for them, for the Freemasons. Okay, it's rigged to be a Freemason, and it's just one big prison for that, aspect. It's just one big prison, and it's just one big harvest. They're harvesting and using humans as slaves. Okay, they consider you to be a slave class, or you to be below them. Okay, they're considering themselves elite just because they're in the Freemasons. They think that they're better than you, and that gives them the right to kill you. Okay, they think that gives them the right to abuse you. And the thing about it is that taking that slave mentality and that slave aspect, like you're acting like it's okay just because it's been going on. It's just been going on for a long time. It's been going on for generations. It's been going on for centuries. Okay, that it's okay and it's going to continue, but it's not. Okay, they're going to be exposed. They're going to be have to be held accountable for their actions, and ultimately they're going to pay for it every day in hell. Okay, because that's where they're going. That's where they practice going. That's where they pray to go. They practice. That's the act of practice of wanting to go to hell. Okay, so they're gonna have to pay for it every day in hell, and they think that they even some of them are in denial that they think that that's a fake place. But this this self-entitlement megalomaniac, that of ultimate narcissism that's born through this, them not practicing any laws, them not being held accountable for their actions, them not deserving to be in the titles that they're given, And it's all the positions. It's all the positions. Any position in where you think that somebody was successful, they didn't earn it. Okay, they were put there. All right. Question authority. Question if they deserve to be there. Question their actions. Okay, it'll come out. They don't deserve to stay there. They don't deserve to. They didn't deserve to be there in the first place. Somebody else who was better, that was smarter, that deserved to be in that position. Okay. And you know, enough people going, that don't make sense. How did this jerk get to be? Okay, did this moron just say that? You don't deserve to be in that position. But yet he's trying. You know, so yeah, the Freemason, you know, it creates narcissism. They practice ultimate narcissism, you know, and then it creates these megalomaniacs that, you know, they're practicing shamelessness. Okay, so they're acting like that it's okay, but also them being called out on this, and ultimately they're gonna have to say they sold their soul. They sold their soul. They're shameless. They're not guilty, because that's a narcissist is that and growing is having to admit guilt and problems. So they're shameless. They're actually proud of their mistakes. They're proud of treating people like trash. They're proud of treating people like garbage. They're proud of abusing people. They're proud of sexually abusing people. They're proud of sexually abusing women and children. They're proud of sacrificing children. They're proud of spending eternity in hell. So practicing shamelessness is something that they'll do. Okay, practicing that, you know, not because they don't want to admit the guilt. They don't admit that they're phony, not talented, but yet they were willing to sell their soul and to put in the devil's hard work, working hard for the devil, worshiping the devil, to be in a small little position of fakeness. So don't believe whenever you see somebody who gets ahead of somebody else in society that they earn that spot. They sold their soul to the Freemasons. Okay, question why they even are there in the first place. Okay, you start to question why they're even there, it'll start to come out. The truth will come out, and you'll start to realize, this self-entitled little punk, they don't deserve that. This dude's a freaking moron. Wait, and that ain't no talent level. Come on. How did they get there? Who did they interview with to get this spot in society? And then you're gonna have to realize that that something's fishy about that. And then once you realize that it's rigged, and then you start to see, wait, so their daddies were such and such, but this dude's a freaking moron. Question authority. And then you'll start to realize that these people didn't deserve to be there. They didn't earn that spot. They sold their soul to the Freemasons, and it's rigged. Okay, so if you want to play the rigged game where they treat you like a slave, you're okay with that? Don't be okay with that. Okay, you're gonna have to fight your oppressor. You're gonna have to kill your oppressor. Okay, you're gonna have to chop that snake's head off. All right.